Hey everyone, what's going on? It is late night chats with yours truly. I'm going to let you know right now, it has been a very long day, and so I decided to test out this potential series today. Now, in this series, my ultimate goal is just to answer one question at a time per video, really focusing on the most commonly asked questions, whether those be on Reddit, they are on Quora, they are on my channel, they are on my Instagram. There's obviously some things that I see more than others, and so this is where I can answer that one very commonly asked question for a lot of you guys and really help you along the way. We are really going to try and focus on hypothyroidism because that seems to be the most common subject at the moment, especially, for me, and it's obviously something that I have also gone through. While over the years, I have created a plethora of videos, I have started to write little ebooks to create, more accessibility when it comes to information for you guys. I just thought this would be another way to open up the discussion and conversation, and also a potential way for me to share with you all the things that I'm also learning along the way. When I had first gotten diagnosed with hypothyroidism about 3-4 years ago, my initial reaction was, how do I lose the weight? That's all I cared about. The mood that came with it, I felt really, really lethargic all the time. I felt really depressed. I had very low energy. My motivation went from here to below ground level. I assumed all of that was because I had put on the weight, that I was just becoming sluggish because I was not used to carrying all this weight around, and that's what was making me feel down. Over the years, my respect for the human body has grown from a cellular level. I did not realize that this beautiful little this thyroid butterfly shaped gland right here is actually responsible for more than just making us either overweight or just having the most incredible metabolism where we're just skinny no matter what we eat. Our gland, that is the thyroid, is obviously a part of our endocrine system. Every single one of our glands is very, very important in its own way because they all secrete hormones. But the thyroid gland, to me, it's so interesting in the way it communicates with our central nervous system. That is not something that I was aware of and something that I was ever made aware of. Our gland ultimately has to be fed a certain amount of micronutrients, which are the essential ingredients to help it function and create the T3 and T4 hormone. Now, these hormones that are released by the gland are ultimately received by the receptors, which come from our central nervous system. And these send the signals back up into our central nervous system and let the brain or the body know, hey, this function has been completed. Obviously, with our thyroid, its biggest function is at metabolism, right? Excuse me. And so when there is any kind of imbalance, whether there is too much hormone being released and there aren't enough receptors, or maybe there is not enough hormone being released and there's too many receptors, that imbalance is what starts creating a negative impact and effect on our body. These imbalances in the level of hormone being released by the thyroid is what ultimately makes us hyper or hypothyroid. A deficiency in certain vitamins and minerals, which are ultimately at the core of the requirement of the gland, are what are going to dictate its optimal function. When I had first been diagnosed, at that time, my innocence only calculated the fact that I needed to start eating more protein and fats, because as a trainer, that is something that you always teach your clients to have a lot of protein and fats in their diet, make sure you're getting good carbs, lots of fiber. And that's what I started to do. And so I was consuming things like chicken and eggs. I was eating a lot more starchy foods. I was eating a lot of like legumes and lentils and beans, quinoa and things like that. And in that process, I was losing weight. At night, I would take zinc and magnesium for my recovery. I would take vitamin B because I thought it would help me with my energy, not realizing that I was inadvertently feeding my body the nutrition it needed for the thyroid to function at the time. I did not know that hypothyroid patients are very susceptible to a deficiency in vitamin B12 and zinc. I did not know this, both of which can also cause hair loss, which I had faced at that time, and they also really affect your mood. Vitamin B12 also affects anemia, it can cause anemia rather, and that's something that I was already dealing with because I was anemic and I had low iron. And so here are all these things that were happening within my body, but nobody had made me aware of it. I was going to the doctor, I was getting blood work done, but why at no point was nobody informing me, by the way, these are some of the core things that you need to know that are very, very common amongst hypothyroid patients. And now when I'm learning these things, I can't say, oh, I'm cured. I will always live on the edge and be very weary of the fact that I have to keep my health at, just 100% as much as I can, controlling the things that I can. But all this information that I'm feeding to my body now, whether I'm reading textbooks or medical journals, all seems like it is common knowledge to me, and it baffles me that it has not been made common knowledge. So that is why I thought this would be a fun way to open up this conversation, and potentially for anyone else who's like me, where you really, really strive to understand things and not just do things. Maybe this will help you understand a little bit more, and maybe we can engage in this conversation. So with that, I'm going to abruptly end this video, but I highly encourage that you guys not only subscribe to this channel, or like this video if you do, but also leave comments. Let me know if you have questions, because that's also pushing me to learn more and understand more in the process. And in return, I'm providing you this information back on my channel in some form or the other. So yeah, I guess that's it for tonight's nerdy talk with Shiva. I hope you guys enjoy it. I know it's, again, not what you're used to seeing me at, but I just think this is so interesting. So let me know if you like this series, and hopefully I can do more of this. All right, until next time, think strong always. Peace.